So dope.
Easy.
Yeah, it's easy. Just press a button. That's it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, how's it going? My name is Josh McCall, if you don't know already, and I had this notion that I needed to just speak out. I needed to get some awareness going, and I wanted to call this quick interview "What's Going On in Armenia." There's a crisis and a conflict going on, and I wanted to talk about this issue and personalize it myself because a lot of my friends come from Armenia. But very specifically, I did not feel like I was the best advocate, and I needed some close people around me to give their point of view. So I'm here with one of my best friends here. This is Misak Voskanyan. And Misak, just tell the people who you are. Give them a quick intro to,
Of course.
What's your message is all about, sir.
Well, thank you, Josh, for having me on the show. Occasion and Purpose, one of my favorite podcasts.
Let's get it.
Huge fan.
There you go.
But my name is Misak Voskanyan. Born and raised in Los Angeles. Proud Armenian American. I'm just a regular guy. Same as every one of you, trying to do extraordinary things, trying to change the world.
Oh, yeah.
So one mind at a time.
One mind at a time. So real quick, I guess I want to just go ahead and get into it. So I was looking at this. I was actually in class talking about this. I was like, why is it so important to get involved in any global conflict or in global studies in specific? Why is it so important? Why should we feel compelled to learn about what's going on specifically in Armenia? So I am from Alabama, and a lot of people from Alabama or that southern region, the East Coast, there's not a lot of Armenians over there.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. Josh is like, what's an Armenian? So like, can you just give people who don't know, the story or the background of the people of Armenia?
Well, being an outsider looking in, I'm sure not a lot of people would know of Armenia. Fairly, right now, as of 2020, we're a fairly small country, population of 3 million. But we've been around for the past 3,500 years. I mean, the oldest maps you can see Armenia were as old, we're as old as the ancient Romans. At the time of the ancient Roman Empire, if you look on the map in your history books, it's ancient Rome, but on the side on the east, it's going to be Armenian Empire. So we've been around for a while. Rich history, full of music, culture, food, language. We have our own language as well. But nowadays, the Armenian people, the Armenian race, ethnicity, we've I don't want to say kind of been forgotten, because we have not been forgotten, but we're not what we were once in history. And with the Armenian genocide and the diaspora, you see these small populations of Armenians, whether it be in Los Angeles, in France, and in Russia. We've kind of spread out from our homeland.
So real quick, before we go, you mentioned a lot of big stuff. So you said there was a genocide.
Yes.
So what I recall is that before there was Adolf Hitler and there were the Jews, there was the Armenian genocide, correct?
Yep. In World War I, 1915. So Armenia, the territory of Armenia, it's important to understand there have been different rulers and different empires within. It's a land full of rich history.
Yeah.
Expansive history with different rulers, whether it be the Russians, the Ottoman empires, and whatnot. And they've always kind of fought for control over this land.
Yeah.
And doing so, I mean, Armenians are native to those lands, and doing so, there was always a question of where the Armenians fell into these big powers of Russia and the Ottoman Empire. And there was a effort by the Ottoman Empire to sort of control the land that Armenia was at the time, to take to control in terms of to get from sea to sea, from to basically have a geopolitical advantage over other countries, of other empires, to basically be a force to be reckoned with. So there was these massacres that they call it, of trying to exterminate Armenians, and basically in 1915. I'm not going to get into other reasons why, but there was a genocide of 1.5 million Armenians that were massacred in 1915, right where World War I was happening. If I don't know whether it was a good timing or it was just it just felt natural or what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But it was around the time of World War One, and which led to basically Armenians being forced out of their land.
Wow.
Forced out of their native lands,
Yeah.
and that's what created diaspora. So in order to preserve their life, people literally, even on foot, fled to Iran, Russia, in order to escape the massacring of the Armenians.
Wow.
So that's why there's these different populations of Armenians in different parts
countries.
different parts of the world. Yeah.
Wow. And so when we get back to today, for example, so what's going on in Armenia as of today? What's going on? Why is it so important? And what do we need to know?
Well, it's difficult to understand what's going on today, and if we don't look at the past history of the region. So, as I said, it's been an area of huge conflict.
Yeah.
It's been an area of huge conflict in terms of
it's near so say it's near Turkey, and then you have Armenia.
Yeah.
And the north, was it like north east? It's like Azerbaijan, right?
Yeah. So the borders. So on the west border we have Turkey. Up
Okay.
north we have Georgia.
Georgia, okay.
On the east we have Azerbaijan.
Okay.
And then down south on the small border we have Iran as well.
Okay.
So those are the direct borders of Armenia.
Yeah.
And to understand history, and this is a good segue into why history is to learn about history.
Yeah.
And to learn about world affairs is important, because
Yeah.
at a time of the reason why a lot of these issues are these territorial reasons are because of the Soviet Union. So much like the United States, the Soviet Union had different provinces or different districts with different groups governing each district, but still answering to the Soviet Union. Armenia, Azerbaijan, almost a lot of the countries were part of under Russia, under Russian control, and that territory were part of the Soviet Union. So they all answered to the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union was disbanded, these regions were arbitrarily, to my knowledge, basically broken up into different countries, which we call now Azerbaijan, Armenia, so on and so on. The Nagorno-Karabakh, what we call Artsakh, because Nagorno-Karabakh is what they call it, is territorially internationally recognized as a region in Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
But being that Armenians have lived there for thousands and thousands of years, those are the native lands of Armenian people. So within the area of Artsakh, known as Nagorno-Karabakh, those people that live there are Armenian. And when Stalin disbanded when the Soviet Union was disbanded, Stalin broke up those regions arbitrarily, and therefore there's native Armenians living there in Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
So there's always been this conflict of who owns the rights to those lands, whose lands are those. It's a major geopolitical issue in terms of where does Artsakh fall into the spectrum of where they fit in, and this issue started it's been almost like 40 years. I feel like this has been going on. Started in 1988 and has continued further and is boiled up to this escalation. So right now what we're seeing is nothing new. It's an escalation of something that has been brewing between Azerbaijan and Armenia for the past 20, 30, 40 years.
So to kind of sum up what you were kind of just saying is that these
It's a lot
borders,
to digest,
I know these borders were basically drawn up, with a pencil, saying, okay, this belongs to this and this belongs to this, and historically, this territory has been a part of Armenia, but ever since then, this is now considered Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
And so there's always been this conflict to where this land is my land or this land is my land. It's always been this
yeah, and it's not so much. I don't want to say arbitrarily, but there has been more. Geopolitical and economic interests that have driven the division of those lands.
Yeah.
So, it's like politics is never what they seem. It's not so cut and dry as we might think it is.
Okay.
So there's definitely intentions behind those that we might not see of immediately, but I mean. That's in every government. I think that's in every government, and it's our job to make sure that that doesn't become too much of a major issue.
Yeah. So let's talk about what's going on today. Let's actually get into the topics. Now we know the brief history of it. So we see that Azerbaijan is very important in this conflict, and also Armenia. Yeah. But what about Turkey? So why are all these three countries so involved? What's going on?
Well, everyone has their hand mixed into the situation that's going on because Turkey has pledged their allegiance and their backing to Azerbaijan. Russia has also been a key player in this. Yeah. They again looking out for their interests as well. They are both providing weapons to both Azerbaijan and Armenia. So everyone has their own interests at heart. Everyone has their own interests of their country in mind in terms of where this conflict is so intertwined with other countries that this is why I think it's important is because it's so mixed up in other people's lives. It's not only just the people of Armenia that can be affected. Mm-hmm. This can change a lot of what's going on. If what they want, which the offensive attacks have mainly been from Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan's army, and if what they want, which is whether it be just. I would like to say that it's only for political reasons, for economic reasons. Yeah. But part of me, and I think I speak for all Armenians, is it's not just that. It's not just that. I don't think I think there are personal interests in the hearts of the Azerbaijanis and Turkey. Again, I mean they have stated, Turkey has expressed that they would like to continue what their ancestors started in the Armenian genocide, and and I think as a race, as an ethnicity, as people of Armenia, I think we've had enough of it. We've had enough of what's going on, and that's why we are seeing it escalate to a certain extent right now. Mm-hmm. There was a peace treaty signed in 1980s between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and which gave the Nagorno-Karabakh region. It gave them this sort of autonomy, but also it gave them autonomy and what's the word that I'm looking for?
Mm-hmm. The peace treaty.
The peace treaty, yeah. So basically the peace treaty is what sort of de-escalated things, and it gave Armenia the control over those territories not control, but the defensive positions to basically care for the people living in Armenia, in Artsakh, which they're Armenian. They're ethnically Armenian. Yes. So So the people living in Artsakh, it's important to understand, are ethnically Armenian. Yes. Which historically, that land has belonged to Armenians.
And what we're seeing, what we just saw, a few weeks ago, was that these people are being bombed, right?
Yes, there's been direct attacks not only to the front lines, but also to the civilian population as well. Which is, it breaks my heart, but I mean, so it's important to understand that the Artsakh region has its own almost self-autonomous governmental elected officials. They operate almost as in
it's like an independent country, basically, kind of like Hong Kong to China.
Yes,
is that a good comparison to?
I would say so. Yeah. It's not entirely like exactly the same, but it's similar because.
Okay. So what I think what people were saying was that this is, they're almost considered their own country in a way within Azerbaijan.
Within Azerbaijan, yeah.
We don't know, I don't know how many countries have recognized that region, but it is very widely known in that area how independent they are. And so to see these attacks go on innocent people, especially the Armenian descent, that is what's causing so much problem. This is why there's so much, this is why there is a war right now. And this is why we need to be prepared. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I think there's a war right now because it's so just because that you are seeing, we as in America, everywhere around the world, we're seeing it at it's been escalating to this point, and it's going to a new level that has been never reached in the past 30-40 years. I'm gonna be honest, the world hasn't seen I don't think so. Personally, I mean,
not in our lifetime at least.
It hasn't seen a war like this. I mean, the U.S. has been involved in overseas operations, but it's never been a all-out war where countries taking sides, pledging allegiances. Yeah. Where if it continues to further escalate, we might see the repercussions of something far greater than just Armenia versus Azerbaijan. Yeah. If other countries pledge their allegiance and provide them, which they have been, which Turkey has been providing, not only mercenaries but weapons, military aircraft, so much to Azerbaijan, and being so small and being surrounded by so many people, so many countries that have the capability to do so and have the intent to do so, to wipe a whole civilization out, wipe a whole ethnicity and race out.
It's very feasible.
It's very feasible, and I hate that in today's day and age that we can that isn't even a sentence, but I think that it's not an unreal possibility. I think that we've been living our lives, and we in the United States we live under so much privilege in terms of not recognize, we're taught here to just worry about ourselves, but I think this issue is going to, like I told you earlier, it's going to show us and by I mean us, each and every one of us as individuals, who we are. This issue is important on many levels, not only for Armenians, but it's a fight for self-determination. It's a fight for, there's naturalistic human rights that many countries believe in and stand for and want to and that we've based our entire civilization off of that ideal that we are the master of our own lives, if that makes sense.
So why? Okay, so I see at least what I see from social media, or speaking, to a lot of my Armenian friends, that a lot of people just want recognition. A lot of people, at least in America, at least what they want us to do is acknowledge what's going on. And say something about it, because we have been. I call it the silent treatment. It's like we have not even, almost. It may be ignored, but it's almost like we are not even paying attention to this conflict. We know that. Our leaders, can be involved in Russia, or our leaders can be involved with Turkey, and they have a say. They can say something. We see France stepping up and saying things. So why hasn't America? Why hasn't our leaders? Some have acknowledged what's going on, but why are so many people silent about this? And why come the news won't report it, or why come they're not making this a global awareness? Why do you think there's a silent treatment?
Listen, I think that's the major issue. I mean, I was directly involved with some of the in the earlier days of the war. I was directly involved with some of the protests, the rallies, and I'm gonna be honest with you. In Glendale City Hall a week ago, I was there, and the only news agency any media company was there was a small guy with a small camcorder taking videos, and he was not Armenian. And there was also Telemundo. And I think that is disheartening to me, because that is disheartening to me because and recently, I'm sure you've seen the commotion that I don't even want to say commotion, the recognition that we've been asking for by blocking the freeway and doing peacefully protesting on the streets in front of CNN and the Washington Post today. I think it's sad, and it disheartens me that has come to that for the American or the media in the U.S. to just report on it and acknowledge it. I think in a day and age where everyone can literally be a news reporter and have their own opinion and have a following and create their own sense of media, for these big companies to just be silent, just shows me and is an indication of how much how I don't even want to say corrupt, but I don't think it's corruptness. I think it's attention. I think it's these news companies. They don't really want to report the news. They're run like a business instead of informing the public. I don't believe. I mean, There's this one really good quote by Denzel Washington. I'm sure everyone's seen the video. It's like if you read the newspaper, if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read it, you're misinformed.
Yeah.
So I personally don't believe that you should even listen to the. I mean, it's important that they say something because it shows that we are here. If nobody is saying anything and we're the only ones reaching each other and we're a tight-knit community, and if we're reaching Armenian to Armenia and no other outside source is taking their time, taking their energy, taking their just 2 minutes out of the day to be like, hey, I see that you're there, you're in pain, you're hurt. I'm here for you. I'm here for you for your rights, for whatever that whatever the reason might be. For them to just take it out of their day to say that just makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Because for example, if you do this podcast right now, that is enough because you might reach 5 other people that might not know about the whole situation. When they hear about the situation, they might be involved directly with someone Armenian. They might know an Armenian, reach out and say, hey, I'm here. And that support means everything to us, because as a nation, as being Armenians, I speak for myself, but I can speak for other Armenians as well. That we're not relying on anyone else. We're relying on each other.
Yeah.
We've been so far isolated, surrounded by other countries that have wished to, do horrendous things to us that I think
for so long you've been so used to it.
For so long we've been used to it. I mean, it's right now Georgia, which we thought we had good relations with. So there's a lot of Armenians living in Georgia. It's our border country, and we have okay relations with them. We're not necessarily, we don't have military personnel at the borders protecting, patrolling and whatnot. So we thought that we had good relations with them.
Yeah.
But whenever this whole issue, the conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh, Artsakh, which should be known as, erupted, they blocked their borders.
Wow.
They blocked their borders from aid coming from, whether it be, personnel wanting to come and serve in the military, whether it be, supplies that the military needs in order to, sustain
and
what's going on.
Why do you think they did that? What was the reason why?
Those questions are hard to answer because I don't think it's one reason, but I mean, I think that they're again protecting their own interests, whether it be economic or geopolitical. We're, again, in those regions we're surrounded by. I mean, Turkey has one of the biggest militaries and one of the biggest defense budgets in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a direct threat to a lot of the countries in that region. I mean, Armenia militarily, just looking at numbers wise, is almost outnumbered 2-1 in any sort of military aircraft personnel, active personnel, the money spent on defense budget, allocation, all of those things is just, it's more. I mean, with the backing of Turkey from in Azerbaijan, it just creates a situation where and that goes back to what I was really saying. We're not looking for outside help. We're not saying come fight for me.
Yeah.
We're not saying, hey, I need your help. Bring your soldiers to Armenia and come fight for our land. We're not saying that. We just want the recognition so that people can understand that we're not alone, because we are fighting for our natural rights as humans.
Yeah.
As to determine who we are.
Your humanity.
We're fighting for our humanity. We're fighting because those are our native lands. Those people that are living there have lived there for thousands and thousands of years. Yeah. I mean, it's disheartening because whenever you see people that not only they're not, we just want the recognition. The support is great. And if you can provide any monetary support or just be there for your friends, I'm sure if you're living in LA, an Armenian person, and
true.
Yeah, and listen, we might be loud, we might be interesting people, but I believe that we're great people. Yeah. We're great people. We care about one another, and right now we're hurting. Yeah. We're hurting as a people. And and in times where other people, where other ethnic demographics were hurt, Armenians fought to preserve their rights, to preserve what they believed was right. Yes. And right now, what we want is people to show recognition that hey,
that same love back.
That same love, yeah. We want that love to show that hey, we're here. and we're standing with you.
Wow.
And not so much as a, you can say, if you want to be technical with it, I mean, yeah, Artsakh stands it territorially. It is in Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that's a valid argument. I don't think
to see them aim at civilians and take this to another step. This is no longer, the factors of war. This is a complete attack against a certain group of people, and you're using and calling this a war as a reason to do it, and it's not. And that is the point why I feel like you needed to say something, or to give some type of platform, is because that this is that case where say something, do something, see something, do something.
Exactly. I mean, okay, so I don't want to get into the whole, the fascism and Hitler and all of that, because that's in a whole different, can of worms, and I don't want to get into that. But, a question that I've been thinking about often, and before this whole conflict, is, how did people stand by? Like, how did people, these fascist, fascist countries come to power? How did Hitler come to power? How did Mussolini come to power? Why didn't people, if everyone right now, but on social media, everyone is a humanitarian, everyone is an aid to, to anything, everyone is quick to donate. If anything happens in the US, everyone is quick to have their, to their voice be heard, has a very quick message on political, whether it be politics, whether it be, any sort of media, that anything that comes to the surface, everyone has an opinion on. So how did these good people, and I'm saying this sarcastically, how did these good people, if you truly say that you're good and you value the good things in life, the good virtues, if you believe in justice, fortitude, strength, all of those, the things that, when you ask yourself, when you go to bed at night, was I beneficial to humanity? Was I a good person? And the good is very subjective, but was I acting in a way that, benefited and was better for myself, my community, my people, my country, and all that? Those people, and if you say yes to the answer to that question, and if you answer that question was yes, I am the best that I can be, I am the best human, I am the best brother, sister, father, mother, if the answer is yes, then how did those people, how did the Holocaust happen? Why did those people come to power? Because of people showing a blind eye to situations like these. We're so quick when times are good, we're so quick to say we will do the right thing when the time matters, but that requires courage. So it's difficult. Wow. It's difficult to say, it's difficult to say, hey, if I was in fascist Germany in the 1940s, 1946, then I wouldn't have pulled the trigger. I don't know that you wouldn't have. Are you sure that you wouldn't have?
Yeah. Because
right now we're fighting for our natural human rights, and you're saying nothing. But yesterday you were a social activist. You were a warrior.
Yeah.
But now, there is no sound being heard. And my fear is that if something like that were to happen again, I don't know that now that another Hitler won't rise to power.
Yeah, we can't say that for sure.
Sure.
Especially in this digital age where it's so easy to do something. It's so easy to show, a lot of things. It's to see this type of treatment. It makes no sense. It bewilders me, at least.
Yeah.
This is a scary thing, and that's why I think it's so important. So, what do you tell people who may not be Armenian, who may not even live in California, who are listening, or how do they contribute? How do they help? What do we post on social media? Mm-hmm. Do we just give? What is that sense of achievement that they should do to help people in need in Armenia?
Well, the first thing I think everyone should do is be informed, educate yourself, be a better person, be a better you. There is no standard to be set. There is only a higher standard to be set. So what I mean by that is get informed, learn more, learn your history.
Yeah.
Follow the news outlets.
Yes.
Not just one news outlet. Get all of the information that you can.
Okay.
Formulate your thoughts first.
Yeah.
Understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Deeply understand what's going on. If you don't want to take the time to understand, then honestly don't say anything.
Yeah.
If you don't want to take the time to fully absorb what's going on, to fully, I don't want the blind trust. I don't want that blind advocacy. I want people to understand what's going on so that nothing like this ever happens ever again.
Of course.
You know, I'm not speaking just for my Armenian people. I'm speaking for the entire world where something like this shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Something like this is unacceptable. So yes, first get informed, get educated, be a better person in terms of always strive for you to be better.
Yeah.
Educate your family, educate whatever you're working on, be a better person, and then reciprocate to your family, to your household, to your community, to your city, to your state, to your country. So in that order. So, and reciprocate all of those being a better person in terms of understanding that those are the important, those being a better person. What I mean by that is, if you believe in in those virtues of justice, courage, all of those things that we see in our heroes in novels, strive for that. I'm not saying hit it, strive for it.
Let's go for it. I like that.
Strive for it.
I like that.
And what I mean by that is, once you get on that journey to be a better person, to aim higher and always continue to aim higher, you will want to help people out the best way you can.
Yeah.
So posting, if you can post, do what you can. Post.
Yeah.
Post and let other people know what's going on.
Yeah.
Get your voice out there. There is no benefit in being quiet and not saying anything.
Exactly.
But if you say something, you might be heard. You might benefit. And personally, when I see it, I know that, hey, this person cares.
Yeah.
This person is a caring person.
Yeah.
So all of those things, again, what I'm trying to say is, when you show your actions by posting, a simple act by posting, it takes nothing out of you. If you think that your reputation is going to be hurt by you posting something, then I'm sorry that there's bigger issues at hand than we originally thought in the beginning. So stand by for what you believe in. Again, courage. All of those things are intertwined.
Yeah.
If you have the capability to do so, I mean, Armenia could definitely use the monetary benefit as well. I mean, we right now we're at war. War is one of the most draining. It drains resources, so we need to replenish those resources for able to sustain ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you can donate to the Armenia Fund, if you can donate $1, if you can donate $10, $100, whatever, however big your heart may be, then do that. Armenia Fund is the best place to donate. That is, I think, it's a direct fund right there. It's an organization. No GoFundMe's. No. If you have trouble trusting GoFundMe's or people, Armenia Fund is the best place to donate for sure. Yeah. If you can do that, again, I'm not saying that everyone needs to do that, but personally, as an Armenian, if you're an Armenian, I think right now it's obligatory. You need to do that right now, because our people, kids my age and younger, are dying. They're at war and dying because Armenia, the military is mandatory. Yeah. If you're healthy, able, it's a mandatory military, and you must have an excuse to not go there. So it's mandatory, but these young men, they're fighting with courage. They're fighting with honor because they're fighting for their homeland. They are fighting to protect what's behind them. We're not trying to go and conquer new lands. We're just trying to protect what's ours. The people in Artsakh are Armenian. They are ethnically Armenian. They speak Armenian. I understand them. It's not like we're trying to just take Azerbaijani land. If anything, we're taking back what was taken from ours. Yeah. There's so much at hand. There's so many factors at play than people realize. So it's not as cut and dry as, hey, it's not as easy as it sounds, but
I like that, man. I will end it with this. I will say this last thing. I think as an American, when you see, for example, when there are refugees that needed help, you take them in. There are people who are trying to seek asylum in Mexico or any other southern country. You would go and you would take them in, and you would say, why is that important? They're not American. The Armenia is not America. Why is that? Why is there conflict? Why do I need to get involved with that kind of stuff? Well, you do it because, like Misak said, we're human. Yeah, we're fighting for humanity. That's the whole point of it. And if you can see somebody's pain and you can learn about it and understand it, and you have the actions to do something, then you should do it. It's that courage that we're talking about here. And I think that's what you want to see move, and that will hopefully, bring, some type of peace or closure to the situation, even though it may not be. But your support and your love and your care does go a long way in this world. That's all I've got to say.
Of course it does.
Anything else you want to say, Misak, to kind of end this?
Well, I mean, I've been all over the place. If you can tell, I feel like I've been
He's been at it. Guys.
I've been.
You
I've
guys
been
don't
at
know.
it.
I was afraid to bring him over because I was like, I know how he is right now.
Yeah. I've been
every
busy.
March.
Yep. I've been trying to get out there. So if I haven't been sleeping well. So if my information is mixed up or if things melted together,
we have to cross references.
We have to cite our sources and everything. But it's been a long week. But that just goes to show the love that I have for my people.
That's awesome.
And the love that I have for everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't want. I think that situations like this come back to you in terms of what you put out into the world you get, and if you put out love and compassion, courage, fighting for what's right, fighting for what you believe is right in the world, that comes back to you tenfold.
Exactly.
And I think that if there's any time for the rest of the world to speak out, it's right now, because I view this whole situation as a fight for each in our individual freedom and our individual. I feel like personally, I felt like I had been living with my eyes closed in terms of but here's what I want. Here's what I want to like in a certain aspect. I've been living my eyes closed because we've been so comfortable that we don't necessarily need to speak out. If it doesn't affect us, we don't need to say anything. Okay. We live in this bubble, and I feel like and it's not only in America. I think in the rest of the world, we live in this bubble where we feel like if it doesn't pertain to us, don't say anything. And there are people that do. Mm-hmm. And why do those people do those things? Mm-hmm. What makes them different from us? I think that's a question we need to ask ourselves. Mm-hmm. Are you the best you can be? Yeah. Have you done it? Listen, if you're fighting your own battles, fight those battles, but you have a responsibility to yourself and to your community, your family, your people. Mm-hmm. The branch extends outward and outward and outward. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to help people understand is, we have to do this not for yourself only, but for everyone.
Yeah. I think that's for a lot of young people. We do that, especially, in 2020. I think that we're just brought up not to care. Yeah. We're brought up to be very narcissistic, and we have to be, it's our future. Mm-hmm. How can I make myself better? And we lose that sense of reality. Like, when I volunteered for the first time, it was like the fact that I can help young people and I can help their lives. I'd rather do anything I can, but also sustain myself, but to give back to them. And to see people they look just like you and who are younger than you and are fighting and are dying to protect something that, by birth is theirs, brings tears almost to your eyes, because it's like, wow, like, what am I doing? What have I done? I've done nothing.
And it brings tears to my eyes. And then what it also does is it when I see these little kids, like 10-year-old kids, they're ready to go fight and defend their land. That's something you can't teach. That's something
you can't.
You can't teach that. So whenever I see that just gives me hope. That gives me courage. That gives me the strength to push on, to push forward. Yeah. I think there's a lot that we can learn from kids like that, and I think there's a lot we can learn from ourselves as well. I think that again, all those things, courage, justice, all of those things. If we just aim for those, and we try to make the world a better place, slowly but surely, we can do that. I think that that nothing is unattainable. Yeah. So we can all be extraordinary. We can all be, better. And that's all I'm trying to say is this conflict is however geopolitical it may be, however many countries may be involved, you have the capability, you have the responsibility to voice your opinion, to make a difference in what's going on right now. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching Occasions and Purpose. I will put the link in this video to where you can give. It says go.
It's Armenia Fund.
Armenia Fund.
On your Armenia Fund. Yeah, I'll give you I'll send you the link.
Okay.
So it's gonna be down below. So if you guys want to donate,
you can donate and
support your Armenian friends. Let them know that you're there, because we are hurt right now. Yeah. We are hurt. Yeah. And we listen, we just want to feel that we are heard. We just want to feel like we're here. Exactly. As any other demographic would want to be in America. And in a nation like ours, where we value those things, where we value, we value the freedom of speech, we value justice, honor, all of those things, courage. This is just unacceptable. So I think that we need to all take a look at ourselves, because we have a direct hand to play, and then take a look at how we can make a difference.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. All right, we'll see you next time.